Okay, welcome everyone. We'll just wait for some time so that everybody joins and then we will start. Okay. So, first of all, let me know if you are able to hear me. I think people are joining. Just give me a quick confirmation if everybody is able to join. Yes. So, yes, finally we are able to see the message. Guys, please just quickly give us a confirmation wherein you are able to probably get or hear my voice. You are able to do probably like clearly see us. Just give us a confirmation. Yes, yes, perfect. So first of all, do hit like for this particular video, because from today onwards we are starting our complete dream project that we really wanted to do, for many days. That is bring up amazing industry use cases in front of you. And this is just like an AI crash course which will continue on. Sometimes Monal will take, sometimes I will come, then we'll bring some more mentors who are really good, who are working in industries, who are doing some amazing work. So just let us know if you are able to hear us. Yes, yes. Okay.
Hey
Perfect. Good evening.
everyone,
Good
I
evening.
think I'm also audible.
Yes, Monal, you're audible.
Yes,
You're
yes.
perfectly audible. So, Monal, would you like to go with your introduction quickly, first of all?
So, hey everyone, good evening, good morning to all of you based on your region, right? So, my name is Monal Kumar. I am a data scientist and I work with multiple technologies. In my past experiences, I've worked on healthcare, martech, industrial safety, as well as you can say industrial safety in two cases, but all of them were related to some were machine learning, some were natural language processing, some were computer vision. But I'm specialized in computer vision. And today I will be teaching you computer vision. We will be having 3 days workshop, and this will be very amazing. Okay, you can use this project which we are going to teach today, and it will be 3 days in total. So let's cover this project end to end. And at the end, guys, I'm pretty sure that you will receive a very good project which you can put in your resume. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Monal. So, guys, before we go ahead, please make sure to probably go ahead and register for the link that we have given in the description of this particular video, because from there you will be able to get the course dashboard and each and everything. Okay, so let me just go ahead and quickly show you all the details with respect to this, so that you should be able to see how you will be able to communicate with your peer, how you will be able to put up any questions. We'll also be taking doubt clearing session and many more things. Okay, so if you probably go ahead and see in the description, there will be a link which is from learn.krishnaik academy. Please go over there, register for it, because it is completely for free. Because the reason why we are creating is that because this entire crash course will be going for a longer period of time, right? So we need to share the materials all at one place, regular interval of videos. All the videos will be in proper sequence and many more things. Okay, so let me quickly go ahead and share my screen, so that I will just take 5 minutes and then we will probably start. Okay, so if you go and click the description link, and once you specifically register, you should be able to see this specific page. Okay, and inside the courses section you should be able to see live crash course on AI. So if you go to the course dashboard, and if you see over here, this particular video is probably running now. You can see over here, this is the live video, right? And you should also be able to probably see the live from here itself, or you can also directly see in the YouTube. It is up to you. However you want to probably go ahead, you can probably go ahead and view it. Okay, so this is the first thing. And all the resources, like after the session is basically done, these resources will be available over here. Okay, Not only that, this is the dashboard access. Along with the dashboard access, you should also be able to get the entire feed community, wherein there are people, there are experienced people who are chatting continuously, who's building amazing things, all the kind of application projects. So this kind of community you will be able to get after joining that particular link, because this entire dashboard of Krishna Academy is mainly focused to connect professionals with each other and have a community wherein we discuss about use cases. So here you can see all these amazing use cases people are developing. You should be able to see this is a agentic application that we are designing in the class and all, and people are implementing it. Here you can also attend a lot of codes will be visible with respect to various projects and all, right? So each and everything is there. This is just like a LinkedIn platform, but much more meaningful link things over here. You'll be able to see from projects to solutions to discussion, everything. Along with that, you'll also be able to see the messages section. In the messages section, this entire community chat is for you, where you should also be able to communicate with your peers, right? So please make sure that you go ahead and register in the description. See, if this is the video, you'll be able to see in the description this particular link. Okay, you just need to go ahead and register over there. Okay, just click over there and you will be able to register it. Okay, so please go ahead and register it. Okay, so this is the first thing that I really wanted to say. Now we are going to probably go ahead and start. So Monal, you can go ahead with the agenda of this particular project, and you can probably discuss it. Before we go ahead, guys, please make sure that you hit like, support Monal, because this will be a 3-day session, and we will be taking break of 1 day every week. Okay, like, I mean, not every week. Like, let's say today is the class, tomorrow there will be a break, then Wednesday we will have another class, then Thursday will be a break, then Friday we'll have the another class, and we'll complete this entire project. This project is a very big project. Okay, so don't think that this is a project of tightening data set as such. No, whatever things we specifically do in the industry, that level project is over there. Okay, so Monal, you can quickly go ahead with the agenda and start
Yes,
talking about
yes,
it. And please do hit like, support Monal as much as you can. Thank you.
yes. Hey everyone, I think I am loud and clear, and I can see a lot of my students already joined this session. So thank you very much, guys, for joining this session. And let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Everyone can see this application. How many of you know about NVIDIA Broadcast? How many of you know about NVIDIA Broadcast? Guys, yes or no? You can mention it. How many of you know about NVIDIA Broadcast?
And
Right?
Monal, if you want to
Yes.
highlight any comment, you can directly highlight it from here. Okay, you can click on show on the
Okay.
chat, and
Yes.
probably it'll
Okay.
show us the message. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So if you don't know about NVIDIA Broadcast, it is a software which takes your input. Let me minimize everything. It is a software which takes your input, your camera input, and tries to remove the background. If you don't know about NVIDIA Broadcast, you might have used Google Meet and Zoom, right? Everyone, how many of you used Google Meet and Zoom? I think everyone. Google Meet and Zoom. Yes or no? Yes, right? So in Google Meet, we have seen that feature that when we click on, when we start our video, we can mention that we want to blur the background or we want to change the background to have that office kind of environment, right? Everyone, that office kind of environment we can change the background also. So how are they doing all of this? Let me show this if you are not clear here. So let me open our Google Meet. Google Meet. If you click on Google Meet, you will be able to see something like this where you can start the meeting. And for this video to start, I need to stop my current camera. So just for a second. And you can see that I am loading. This is our Google Meet. And here I can check. This is my camera feed. See, this is how it looks like, right? And in this one, if I want to kind of change my features, this one, I can add a background. Okay. Am I able to add background? Guys, I'm just talking about the problem statement. We are talking about what we are trying to build here. Okay, so this is what we are doing. So you can see this is the background. I am able to blur my background as well. So this is called broadcasting. Okay, this is my video. I'm taking the video feed from my camera and trying to stream to somewhere else, or trying to change the video feed in between. And this project is what we are going to create. Okay, the same thing which is available from Nvidia or from Zoom or from Google Meet itself, that this background blur, changing the background itself or removing the background, we are going to create with the help of computer vision. And we can use it in Google Meet. As you can see, currently I'm using my current camera, but when we create that application, we will be able to see our new camera here, which we can select. You can put whatever background you want, you can remove the background, or you can blur like this with the help of your custom application. And this is what we are going to build in this 3 days workshop from scratch. Everything is going to be from scratch. Okay, do you guys want to see how this application looks like before starting how to implement it? How many of you want to see that? How many of you want to see that? Okay, let me start that application. It is present here. Then I will show with the help of, just wait a second. Okay. First of all, I'm just showing you the demo of application before even creating it, so that everyone will be excited what we are trying to do here. This is a very advanced application and we are going to cover it from scratch. Okay. Let me activate my environment. I will share the screen a bit. This is not the screen here. In this screen which I am sharing, we are going to create that application. But currently, I just want to show you the UI also, which we are going to create. Prerequisite, there is no prerequisite. I will try to explain in such a way so that no one will face any issue. Although the concepts are very advanced, which we are going to cover here, but we don't have to worry about it. Okay. We are going to cover in such an overview that we understand that how to implement applications like this, not just this application, but applications like this. I hope everyone can see this error screen.
Okay, guys, many people is asking about the prerequisites. So at least you should know, be good at Python, computer vision. You should have some knowledge about it. I know you're super excited to probably understand what are the prerequisites, what all things we'll be going ahead with. But that is a prerequisite. That is the reason, like, we are expecting that much you should have, because he will be going ahead with modular coding. He will be showing you multiple use cases over there. Okay, please continue.
Yes. Yes. I hope everyone can see this. Right? This is the application which we are going to create. We are going to create front end. We are going to create APIs. We are going to create backend. We are going to create computer vision backend also. All of this which we are going to cover in this project. Okay. Everyone, I hope my screen is visible. Yes. Okay. Yes. So this is what we are going to create. We are going to make not with Streamlit. We are going to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That is the main core front end packages. Okay. The languages which we use to create front end. Guys, don't worry. It is not too complex. I will try to minimize that complexity so that everyone can use it. Yes, recording will be available. This is YouTube live. Okay. And if you want to check how these things work, let me select this camera. If I list these devices, soon it will talk about, I'm just showing you the demo. Then we will start the class. Okay. No, this is not Kinter front end. This is not Kinter front end, guys. Yes, doing this project will greatly enhance your backend. Okay. Your backend of how you are going to use CV. We are not going to focus on how algorithm is working, but how to use that algorithm so that we can create end-to-end project. Okay, you can see this camera 0 and 1 is visible now. Everyone, and see now, if I start streaming, if I say start streaming and I mention no background, can you see? I am mentioning no background. And now if I mention Google Meet, if I click Google Meet, if I type Google Meet, let's start a dummy meeting with myself. Yes, I want to use microphone and camera. Allow this time. And this is my main camera. Now see the part which we have created. Okay, just wait, it will load in a second. If the camera is being used by some other application, then I will not be able to use it. Else, just wait. Okay, yes, because the camera is being used by my broadcast application. So let me deselect it. We don't want any broadcast application. And yes, just wait. Okay, it will start in a bit. Sometimes it creates issue because we are running multiple things. My camera stream is being shared with YouTube, but once you are running this thing on your application, on your system, you can use it in your personal Google Meet. Okay, so let me reconnect it because sometimes it creates. Okay, let me stop this stream and start again. Just wait a second, guys. Okay. It can run on CPU, but you have to mention this FPS. So we are going to consider each and every aspect of this. Okay. Just wait. Okay. Please continue. Yes, I'm continuing. Don't worry. It can create an issue because we are running multiple things. Okay. So maybe I can give this demo later. Once we create everything, then we can start this part. Okay. When I'm not sharing my camera. Is that fine with everyone? When I'm not sharing my screen, then I can show all of it. Blur strength is selected as 10. We can increase the blur strength later, but not right now. Okay. There is no need for that right now. I just wanted to check whether, because we are sharing multiple things, how it will behave. Okay. Let's see again. Else I will stop everything, then later share at the end once we create everything. Okay. So currently it is not able to access it. We will try to access it later. So let's start that. Okay. And let me close it. Once I close every application, then I will show it. So let's start on it. What is the problem statement and how we are going to solve it? Just wait. Let me close this. And then let me open this part which we are going to see. Okay.
Monal, just show your
Yes,
face.
sir.
Your
Yes,
face
yes,
is
yes.
in
I'm
that.
starting the camera. I was stopping this camera because it was not accessible on the application, but now I think it will be visible. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the problem statement, how we are going to solve this. But before that, let's understand the problem. Okay. So if I talk about this application, I hope everyone can see this. Okay. So this is our webcam. Our webcam stream gets into our system. This is our system. This is our meeting application. Okay, yes, you can use external camera for this one. Okay, I only have one camera, but if you have two cameras, it will be better for you, so that you can access both the cameras. So this is our web stream that we get from our camera application, and it's get input into our meeting application. It can be Google Meet, it can be Zoom as well. This is our original web stream, and this is being ingested with the Google Meet or Zoom application, you can see. So the input, this application like Zoom and Google Meet can only accept input from valid source. Okay, valid source means from your webcam or from any other camera, but it should be a camera which is continuously sending data. Okay, it should not be a video, it should be a stream. You can see this is called as stream. A stream is continuous data is flowing, and it only then it will be accepted by the application. But what happens is that we want to do some processing on the image, right? We want to blur the background, or we want to remove the background, or we want a custom background. So what we want is, we want to take the stream which we were using before in the Google Meet, but we want to change it, right? We want to change the stream in between. But when we change the stream, that is not stream anymore, that is frames. Okay, those are camera frames which are not a valid source, which cannot directly be used with the meeting application. So what we need is, everyone understood the problem, why we cannot just remove the background or add a custom background and cannot use in Google Meet? Because it is not a stream, it is not a valid input source. Everyone, are we clear on the problem statement? This is what we usually do, and this is what we want. Our original stream plus what we are going to do with that stream. And what is the issue here? Okay, so this issue we face. Next thing is, we need to understand the component before solving this. This is the problem statement, and let's try to understand how driver works in order to solve this particular problem statement. Okay, so this is our computer. Our computer has multiple components, and I have mentioned three components here. Our computers has drivers. Drivers are softwares which is required to use your hardware. Okay, it can be your mouse, it can be your keyboard, or it can be your webcam. So if you don't have that software, you will not be able to access that mouse, your hardware, any hardware. Understand? So if you guys want me to repeat the problem statement is, from this webcam, once we take input from this webcam, we can utilize it in our Google Meet or Zoom. Is that part clear? Is that part clear? Mention yes or no. From our webcam, we take the input stream to our meeting applications. It can be Zoom, it can be Google Meet. Guys, mention yes or no. Yes. Okay, but what we want is, we want to take that stream and tries to apply some you can say filtering operation. That is, we want to blur our background, or we want to remove the background, or we want to have a custom background behind ourselves, right? This is the target which we want, but this is not possible, because once we process our webcam, it will not be a stream anymore, it will be images. In Google Meet, is there any function to load images, or we can just only load webcam? Can we load images, or we can only load webcam? Guys, can we load images in Google Meet, or we can only load webcam? Answer is not yes. How can someone tell me how can we load images in Google Meet? How many of you have used Google Meet? In Google Meet, we cannot use images or videos. We can only utilize webcam. Okay, guys, we can only utilize webcam. But the processing which we are going to do on images. We are going to remove images from the background. Okay, we are going to blur the background. We are going to remove the background. We are going to change our background, which is not ideal input for our meeting application. Yes, it needs a continuous input. We can't load images. Is everyone clear on the problem statement? Why we cannot directly use this application, this blur, remove background, and custom background? Clear everyone on the problem statement? Guys, mention fast. Yes, no. I will try to explain again. Not an issue. My question is, when we blur the background and remove background, change background options are already present in Google Meet. Then we are doing this again. We are doing this again to understand how these applications are made. Later, if you want to change your application because you have more control in your application, you can put 7 different colors in your application, or you can play video behind your background. In your background, you can play the video as well. It is totally up to you. But only when you can only do all of this once you know how these things work. Okay, you cannot do that in Google Meet, but you can do it in our application. Clear? You can play the video in the background. It is totally fine. Yes, since it is not applicable in meeting application, we are making our custom one. Okay. So let's understand how we are going to solve it. This is the first component which we are going to learn. This is called as drivers. Okay. We need to understand how driver works. When we connect our mouse or keyboard or webcam to our computer, it requires a driver for that mouse or that hardware. Okay. Driver is the software which communicates between your computer and that hardware. Is this part clear? Drivers are the software which handle communication between your hardware and your computer. Are we clear here? What are drivers? OS is your operating system which handles your resources. Hardwares are your computer hardware. Okay. You have CPU, you have memory, you have motherboard. These are your hardwares of your computer. Are we clear here? Yes. Okay. So when we connect mouse into our system, do we need to install some driver, or it is by default? When we connect our mouse with the help of USB, do we need to install driver, or our mouse is recognized automatically? Our mouse is recognized automatically or not? By default. Yes. So there are drivers by default. So if you can search on your system device manager, if you search device manager, you will be able to find the driver responsible for looking and communicating with the help of your mouse. Okay. So if you go here and you can click on ports, let me just show you that. Just give me a second. I will, the name. See, these are all the drivers, but the drivers which we are looking for mouse is this one. Can you see this? HID compliant mouse. Okay. So this is the driver which communicates between your mouse and your system. Okay. This handles that communication. Yes. So just like that, all the hardwares which needs to be integrated in your computer, it can be keyboard, it can be your webcam, it can be your microphone, or it can be your mouse, needs driver to communicate. Okay. So let's see that how this process works. First of all, once you connect your mouse with the connection via USB, it gets connected to your system hardware. Okay. So is this fine? Okay. Now we can only see the screen. So first of all, once we connect our mouse into our hardware, this is the first step which happens. It will connect via USB and it will then get recognized with the hardware, only the hardware. Okay. Now next thing is, for that, I think someone is celebrating here. Then the second step, your computer detects hardware plugged in the USB. So once your mouse is connected with the help of USB, okay, is it like the feature available in Google Meet to change the background? Yes, we are going to build that. Okay, everyone. So first, the step one is we connect our mouse via USB to our system. Then our system detects this mouse hardware via a plugin, okay, that it is plugged in. That is second step. Third step is our computer sends a request to the mouse that give me some information. So mouse will send information like who is my manufacturer, what is my product ID, what kind of product category I belongs to. Your mouse will send to your operating system. Okay, that is the third step. Then fourth step is your OS will look for the correct driver. This is the fourth step. Your OS will perform a lookup to find the correct driver in your system. Okay, I've shown you one driver of the mouse, right? So this is what our computers will do. Our OS will find the driver. Step 5, our OS then loads the driver into memory, which is the software of that particular mouse. Then in step 6, now we can use our mouse seamlessly. So all of these 6 steps happens once we connect any hardware to our system. Are we clear, everyone? Are we clear, everyone? Mention yes or no. Or if you're stuck, if you're not able to understand some process, let me know. We have total number of 6 different steps here. Okay, this is what happens once we this is how driver communication happens with the help of your OS. Okay, great. So everyone is able to understand this. Next thing is, let's try to talk about the solution. First of all, let's talk about this webcam. Okay, this webcam in the previous, see, this is the problem statement. The problem statement is, in our computer we cannot use webcam to stream it. Okay, we cannot use a webcam and change the process, change the frames in between and use it in Google Meet. Okay, that was the problem statement. Okay, we cannot change the frames in between and use it in our Google Meet application. We need some different method. And now we know about drivers. Let's try to find the solution. This is same thing, but now this time we have our webcam. Okay, we have our webcam. Let me try to show this part. This will be better for understanding. This is our webcam and this is our computer, right? Let me write webcam. Our webcam, these are the data frames. This is streaming. Okay, data is streaming to our computer, which we are utilizing in applications like meeting. Okay, meet applications. Clear, everyone? The problem is we cannot change the frames in between. We cannot change the frames in between. So we need a new method. We need a method in which we can change the frames and still will be accessible with the help of application. What is the requirement of Google Meet? What kind of input it accepts? What kind of input it accepts? What kind of input it accepts? Google Meet. I'm talking about Google Meet and Zoom like applications. What kind of input this kind of application expects? Video stream, not just video. Video stream. Okay, not frames. So what we are trying to find here is that our original camera takes input from the sensor, sends to our Google Meet. So what we will do now, we will try to mimic a webcam. Okay, this will be a virtual webcam. I will talk about how. We will try to create a virtual webcam. Our real webcam takes input from sensor, takes input from our camera sensor. We will create a webcam which will not take input from our sensor, but will take input whatever we are going to send. We are going to send the frames and it is going to stream. Clear? Everyone? We are going to send frames and is going to stream with the help of this virtual camera. Are we clear? So this frame, this yes, I'm going to repeat it. Okay. The previous problem statement, let me talk about the problem statement again. I know this is little complex to understand. This is totally new like idea, right? Previously what we used to do, we used to do dog cat classification, which is very simple to implement, but this is hard, right? This is our webcam. It takes input from our camera sensor. Is this part clear? It takes input from camera sensor and stream this data so that any application like Zoom, like YouTube, like Google Meet can use it. Clear? Clear? Now what kind of solution we need? Okay, we need a solution where we can replicate this webcam itself, which was a hardware device. This webcam is hardware. Okay, this is a physical device which we have like plugged in with the help of USB into our computer system. So what we need is, what we are going to do this, what we are going to do to solve this problem statement is, we are going to create a webcam, but a virtual one. It is not going to be a hardware, and the input is will not come from sensor. Input is, we are going to send images and frames. We are going to send frames. This virtual webcam is going to stream. Yes, Amit, I can see your comments. So this virtual webcam is going to stream this data. Clear, everyone? Are we clear? I will talk about how we are going to create this particular virtual webcam, how we can get this virtual webcam, but this is the solution which we are going to focus. Okay. And can we use this input? Can we use this input in applications like Google Meet? Zoom or YouTube? Can we use this stream in applications like Google Meet, Zoom, and YouTube? Why? Because it is of category stream. These are streaming data. Okay, so we can directly use this stream, but we cannot use this frame. So we are going to create a solution where we are going to send frames into this virtual webcam. And how does virtual webcam works? How does any virtual webcam works? Let me show you that. So this is going to be our virtual webcam, which we are going to create with the help of OBS. I will talk about how we are going to do that. Okay. So this virtual webcam, we are going, our system is going to have this software. And because it is a software, it does not need this connection via USB. So we are going to skip this step number 1. This virtual webcam is going to register itself as a video capture device. Okay. Just like this mouse was registering itself to the OS that I am a mouse, I am a hardware, I'm an input device. You can register my drivers, you can register my ID, product ID, whatever the ID is, this information this mouse is having, and you can utilize me. Just like that, this virtual web camera is going to register itself as a video capture device. And once this is being registered into our hardware, our OS will communicate, ask for the information just like any hardware, just like we are doing here. And this is our OS. Then OS will perform the lookup for the correct driver. We are going to have drivers installed for this as well. And then this is ready. Okay. This virtual camera is ready. This virtual camera is ready to use into our OS. But if I only have the virtual camera, and it is it is ready to use by OS. Is it ready yet? In our original camera, we have data coming from camera sensor. If we don't pass data, will this work? If I don't pass this data, will streaming even happen? Yes, thanks, Amit. Will streaming even happens? No. If I don't pass this data, streaming will not happen. And this is what we are going to do. Once we have this virtual camera, with the help of our Python and computer vision, we are going to send frames continuously to this camera. Okay, so we are going to mimic the sensor, we are going to mimic the virtual camera, and once this camera is ready, we can use in any application. Stream is basically sending frames. How it is different from frame? Stream is not just frame, stream is continuous data. Okay, stream is continuous data. What are the example of continuous data? Can someone please mention? What are the examples of continuous data? Streaming data, data which is continuously streaming. What do we mean by when we say YouTube streaming? You have this data available, you have this video available. Only when you click on this video on this YouTube, you will get this data one by one continuously. You will get frame 0, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4 one by one. What you are doing? You are streaming this data. Yes, audio stream. So continuous data is called as streaming of that data. Yes, YouTube live streaming. This is also streaming. Okay. Currently, all these frames are being processed one by one, and this is called streaming. If I just pass frame, a single frame, and that's it, this is not streaming. This is not streaming. Yes, voice call data is also streaming. These are examples of streaming data. Are we clear, everyone? So what things we have to create? We have to find this virtual camera driver. We have to find this virtual camera. Second thing is, we have to create a Python script which is going to send this data, which is going to send the updated frames of, let me talk about this problem statement. We are going to send these frames, blur, remove background or custom background based on what we require, and then we will send this data to our virtual camera. Okay, we are going to take input from the original stream. We will process it with the help of computer vision. We will not leave this frame as it is. We will send all of these frames to our virtual camera. Clear, everyone? How many of you are clear about problem statement and the solution? I'm not talking about technical solution, but just the solution, what we have to do. Others? So in the medium, we are taking the data and editing the frames and again sending that frames into Google Meet. Yes. So we are going to do processing in between. Okay, we are going to do processing in between, and with the help of a virtual camera driver, we are again going to send a stream. And once it is available, once this virtual camera is available to the OS will show this camera that if you want to utilize it however you want. So we are not going to create driver. I will talk about it. Okay, what we are going to do. Anyone with no, not able to understand? We will not store, we will continuously send. Okay, data will be lost once we send it. Okay guys, can you tell me, currently suppose time is t, are my frames saving into my system, or they are being lost with the help of webcam? Yes, it is possible in Mac as well. You can do it in Mac as well. Yes, correct, Srinivas. we are going to input one stream. After editing, we are going to get another input. So frame, we are going to send that new frame and stream it. Okay. Again, people who have doubt, see this. This is your camera. This is, suppose your Google Meet. Okay. From your sensor, you send this to camera, which is a hardware. From this camera, you send this to your Meet applications. But we want to change the camera output. We want to change the camera output. But if we change the camera output, we cannot stream it, because streaming happens with the help of your camera. We don't have that intermediate software here. If we take it, process it, we don't have that ability to stream. Only camera has ability to stream. Okay, so we are going to create a new output. With the help, we are going to create a virtual camera. We are going to create a virtual camera which can stream, because cameras has the ability to stream. So previously this output was not usable with the help of Google Meet or Zoom. Now the same output, we can use it in Meet's application. Yes, it is also possible in Linux. Okay, it is also possible in Linux. Yes, we are editing the live streaming. This is what we are going to do. Thanks, Arpan. Okay, so now let's see the next step. So the next step we are going to do is, we are going to download our first software. Okay, we are going to download our first software. First is OBS. Okay, so OBS has been used. OBS is mostly used by YouTuber or anyone who wants to record their screen or stream to YouTube or stream to any other places like Twitch. They want to stream their gaming into YouTube or Twitch kind of platforms. They use this software called OBS. Are we clear? They use this software called OBS. Yes, we will do coding. We will do coding. We have total 3 days, guys. So we have to click on download installer for Windows. If you are Mac user or if you're Linux user, you are going to download it and do the installation. I'm going to show the installation on Windows because I have Windows here. You can see this part is downloading. Okay, I already have this system. So once it is downloaded, you will click on it. It will start this installer. Ask yes, click on next. It will ask for this location where you want to install and click on install. That's all you have to do for this application. Clear, everyone? OBS, this is called as OBS. Everyone has to install this when you are free. Not now because we don't have a lot of time. Yes, people are saying they use OBS. Yes, you can use OBS to record a screen. And if you want to see how OBS looks like, this is how OBS looks like. Can you see this OBS, everyone? Are you able to see this OBS? This is the interface of your OBS. This is a free software. It will not ask you for any subscription. Okay, you can see when I'm speaking, this microphone is moving. So this is a recording application. Okay, you can record high quality videos, high quality screen recordings, and you can also stream. But we are not going to use any of this. We are just going to install OBS. Our task is to just install OBS, and this is what we have to do. Download the installer, install it. Only 3 steps we require. Once we click on download, it will start the download. Click on this OBS. Once it is downloaded, click on yes. For Linux, it will show you different instructions, but at the end, you have to just install it. I have already used OBS in Linux and it works. And then click on install. Is this part clear, everyone? We have inbuilt install. I will talk about why we are using OBS. Okay, we are not using OBS for screen recording. We are not using OBS for screen recording. Okay. Yes. So why we are installing OBS is, let me open our notepad again. Let me talk about one functionality of OBS. You can utilize OBS later, but we are interested only in one functionality of OBS. Suppose this is your screen. Okay, this is your screen. You are going to record some tutorial on YouTube. You are going to record it and post it on YouTube. So you are going to use OBS. Okay, you are going to use OBS. Also, if this is your screen, you are recording this, you can also stream this. You can stream your screen or you can record it. If you click on stream in OBS, all of this data, you can use it and send it to your application like Twitch and YouTube. Okay, you can go YouTube live, you can go on Twitch live and show your gaming skills, or you can show your whatever hobby you have, you can show on YouTube, but with the help of OBS you can stream it. Okay, so this is the functionality provided by OBS. OBS does this by creating virtual camera. In OBS you can have virtual camera as well. This virtual camera will serve as input to your other application. Okay, so when you install OBS, OBS will provide a driver. Automatically it will install the driver of a virtual camera. Our half of the task is done. Not half, we have a lot of coding to do, but I'm talking about in terms of components, problem statement. Okay, you can talk about Twitch. Okay, when we install OBS install this virtual camera driver. Okay, OBS install this virtual camera driver which mimics your hardware camera. OBS is asking to select one of three options. If you want to check the OBS installation, I can show you that. This is OBS. Click on yes, click on next, click on next, click on install, and see this is saying that all of these applications, okay, I have to close this OBS. All of these applications are being used. No, I don't want to close all of it. Okay, but you can show me. Whatever is recommended in OBS, just use it. People are saying the last one. Okay, select the last one to install this OBS. So OBS will install this driver automatically. This is a virtual camera driver which is going to mimic hardware camera, and OBS uses this virtual camera. Usually what we get, usually when we install a, you can say, webcam, when we install an external webcam into our laptop will look for driver. If driver is found, only then our webcam and laptop can do the communication. Only when driver is found, our webcam and laptop can do the communication. Okay, so webcam is a hardware which requires a driver to communicate with the laptop. Okay, and in OBS we skip this part. Okay, we try to mimic something. What we try to mimic, we in our laptop we install a driver. We don't have webcam. We try to replace this hardware webcam with virtual webcam, which is not an actual hardware, but it just tells your system that I am a camera. As I mentioned, there are a lot of steps, right? See these steps. There are a lot of steps when we try to register our device. First, we will connect via USB. Our hardware will then ask for self-registration. Once it is done, it will request, our OS will request for the information, right? So once we install this virtual camera, we don't have to install via, we don't have to connect USB because there is no USB. But this virtual web camera of OBS is going to self register that I am a hardware, treat me like a hardware. Yes. Driver is not OBS. OBS is a software which contains lot of different tools. One of it is it installed virtual camera driver. Clear? Are we clear? Naveen and others? Okay. So OBS will try to put, you can, yes. OBS will try to put this driver, which is going to self-register to OS that I am a physical hardware. I am the actual hardware. Treat me like one. This is what we have just done. Clear? Yes. So everyone is clear now. Next step is, once we have this virtual camera, in this diagram you will be able to see, with the help of Python, there is a library called PyVirtualCam, which takes input as frames and send to your virtual camera automatically. We have a library in Python called PyVirtualCam. In this one, we can send our frames, we can send our images, and it will send all of these images to our virtual camera. Virtual camera is not a hardware, it is just a software which is mimicking your hardware, which is mimicking your webcam. And then it is going to do streaming. Because this is a driver of that camera, the task of this camera is to stream data. The task of PyVirtualCam is to send this frame to our virtual camera. So by this, we are able to create a stream which we can utilize in Google Meet. No, the prerequisite is you should know Python and you should know how to use Python. That is a prerequisite. Okay. So what we have done till now, we have installed OBS. With OBS, we got driver for virtual camera. Okay. And we know what library to use. Now we will start the implementation. Yes, it is a Python package. Okay, it is a Python package. PyVirtualCamera is a Python package. Virtual camera we already got once we install OBS. And I think most of the people have already installed OBS. I can see a lot of comments. And you already have this virtual camera. Okay. I hope everyone is clear with the concept of virtual camera. This is how NVIDIA Broadcast also works. NVIDIA Broadcast also installs a driver which you are going to utilize in Google Meet. Now, if everyone understands this concept, now tell me, okay, if with the help of OBS, okay, in the OBS software itself, I have taken input into OBS, and from that OBS, I am streaming. If this is already streaming with the help of OBS, can I stream the same with PyVirtualCam? Can I use this driver of OBS to do the streaming now? I will answer quickly. No. OBS only provides one virtual cam. If OBS is already utilizing that virtual camera, we cannot send a newer frames to the OBS because it is being already used. Just like that, my webcam is using, I cannot use my webcam in Google Meet also. I was not able to use it, right? Because my webcam is already being utilized with one of the application, I cannot utilize with another application. Okay, so this will not work. So I am using OBS only for virtual camera. I cannot use OBS for two different applications, only single application. Okay, only single application. Okay, and see, a lot of the people think that this is how we create a end-to-end project, right? We create a Python backend. Let me write steps, clear steps. This is what how usual projects looks like. We create Python backend. Whatever the deep learning or machine learning techniques are, we create backend for those, and then we start the application. But this is not how end-to-end project looks like. End-to-end project means you will have a front end plus you will have a back end. In back end, you are going to have back end which is going to interact with front end. So I'm going to write back end for front end. And then we have another back end for our processing. This is called as logic. Okay, so we are going to learn front end, back end for front end, and as well as logic. Clear? Okay, so let's do a refresher, because this is something which we need, because we are going to build end-to-end application. We need to understand this. How many of you know about this software architecture layers? We have learned this in our college days. If you're not from CSE background, I will teach you right now. Okay, this is very interesting. We are going to learn how to create software from scratch, the fundamentals. So for any software, we have multiple components. First component is presentation layer. Suppose you are using a Zomato or you are using a YouTube, whatever you are able to see on the screen is called as presentation layer. People who are not from CSE, please watch this carefully. Okay, this is very important. So whatever you're able to see on YouTube, on Zomato, or any other application, the front end which you see is called as presentation layer. Clear? Everyone, yes or no? Are you clear in this part? Don't worry, guys. We are going to create this whole thing, but now we are talking about software. We are not talking about solution now. How we create a software, how we segregate into different modules, front end and different components of backend. That is backend for front end as well as logic. So presentation layer is the UI which handles user interaction. Okay, which handles user interaction. Then there comes API layer. Okay, API layer defines routes and endpoints, which we are going to discuss. What are routes, what are endpoints, everything we are going to cover. Okay, then we have business logic layer. This API layer you can say as your backend for the front end. Okay, this one you can call as backend for the front end. This layer communicates with your front end. Yes, API layer connects presentation as well as business logic layer. Okay, nothing will be theoretical. We are going to implement all of these three layers. All right. Then there is business logic layer, where we are going to process information, where we are going to actually process the frames, where we are going to process our webcam output. We are going to blur the background, we are going to change the background, or we are going to remove the background. All of these parts we will do in business logic layer. Okay, so let me define these components again. Front end, whatever you are able to see on the application is called as front end. Whatever you see on the application, those buttons, those images, all are part. These are suppose paragraph. You have a button. Okay, you have a text box. or you have a image. This is how you define image, right? This is image. These are multiple components. This is what we are going to do. This is front end, and then you have back end. This is back end. This is where you are going to write your Python business logic. This is called as business logic. You are going to define your computer vision algorithms. You are going to process your webcam. You are going to send this to virtual cam as well. Virtual camera. Now tell me, what are the applications we use for front end? I'm talking about the front end, not the Pythonic front end, the original front end. What are the languages we use to create front end? Anyone has idea? Yes. Anyone has idea? Guys, I'm waiting for your answers. What are the languages we use to create front end? Correct. Aman? We use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and others. These are the language we use to create front end. Okay? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yes, there are other languages, .NET, we can use React, we can use others. And what is the business logic language? What language we AI engineers, data scientists, data analysts, anyone who is working in data science uses? How we define business logic? Which language we use? Correct, Adit. We use Python. We use Python. Okay. We use Python because we are going to use computer vision, which is written on Python. We are going to process webcam, which we are going to write on Python. We are going to create this virtual webcam and send our frames to this virtual webcam with the help of Python library. So everything is Python here. So we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript in one end. We have Python in another end. Can these two languages communicate? Can these two languages communicate with each other? Does Python understand HTML or HTML understands Python? Does HTML understands Python code or Python understands HTML code? Guys, think. If you mention to Python code to your HTML, will your HTML understand the Python? No. Your HTML does not understand Python. Your Python does not understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That is the issue. And in between, to solve this problem that you are not able to communicate, you are going to create API layer. This is what we mean by API layer. API. So API is an intermediary. Before talking about API, let me give you an example. Suppose you are a customer at a restaurant. You are a customer at a restaurant, and customer is front end, and in back end we have chefs. In back end we have chef. Do customer communicate with chef for the order? Do customers communicate directly with chefs for the order? I'm talking about a bigger restaurant. Do customer communicate with chefs directly? Yes or no? Guys, I'm waiting for your answer. Please answer fast. Do customer communicate with chef directly for order? I want this dish, I want this dish, I want little spicy or something like that. Yes, they communicate with the help of waiter. Waiter understands what customer means. So waiter has customer handling capability. Waiter also understands the language of chefs, language of kitchen. So waiter here is serving as API. This is the very simple example of API. Waiter is the API which understands both customer as well as chef. And this is what happens in API layer. Okay, this is what happens with the help of API layer. So with the help of applications, with the help of JavaScript, we are going to send information to this API. JavaScript is the language. With the help of Python, we have a language. We are going to use FastAPI. This is a language from Python. So Python, JavaScript will say run this. FastAPI will accept that run. Once we kind of implement all of this, then it will be clear. But we will have someone who will know how to call this Python, and from Python there will be someone who will accept whatever we are going to run from JavaScript. So this all happens in API layer. Okay, we are going to see this API layer in more detail. Understand everyone? Front end, API layer, and our Python, which is backend. Clear? Are we clear here? Presentation layer, API layer, which will define the route and endpoint. I will talk about what is routes and endpoints. It will receive the request and send the response. Okay. And before that, another concept, then I will ask your doubts, whoever has doubts. Okay. Because I know there are a lot of information. We are trying something from scratch. This is the server. The task of the server is take request. Task of the server is, once the request is approved or we have processed the request, we will provide response. How many of you have used ChatGPT? How many of you have used ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or any other application? Any other application? Yes? Or if you have not used ChatGPT, okay, all of us, I hope so. But if you have not used ChatGPT, let me give you a simple example of server. Think of this as a calculator. Suppose server is your calculator. You are going to send 1 plus 2 to your calculator. Your calculator is going to process the information and send the result back. 3. This part is called as request. This part is called as response. Are we clear on request and response? Same thing happens with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an application which is running on a server. It is running on a server. ChatGPT is not a server. ChatGPT is an application running on a server. We will send our query, ChatGPT process it, server will send back to us. This is called as request. This is called as response. And this is exactly, Siddharth, are we clear here? Calculator, think of calculator as a server. You send your request that do 1 plus 2. Calculator has the ability to process your request. Calculator can calculate it, right? 1 plus 2 equals to 3. Then it will process and give you the response. Same thing, receives the request, validates the data, and return the response. API layer. Okay. And in CSE, if you talk about a traditional software architecture layer, after business logic layer, we have data layer, which handles with databases. But in our case, we are not going to have database. That's why we only have 3 layers: presentation layer, API layer, and business logic layer. Can I move forward, guys? If everyone is clear, then I will move forward. Yes, no, yes. How many of you are getting overwhelmed with all this new information? Guys, is this fun? Is this new? See, there are a lot of things goes. If you see, if you're someone who only cares about learning LLM, or if you're only caring about learning computer vision or deep learning, that is not a part of like a bigger picture, right? If we talk about a bigger picture, it means how you handle data. Do you know little bit about API, about business logic layer, how you do modular coding and everything? Then only you can be a good AI engineer, data scientist, or anything. This is what you have to do. No problem solution is Srinivas. I don't understand. Interesting, right? Yes. Okay. Yes, we need to know all of this to build an entire pipeline. How you create a software, or how do you create a actual project? Now let me slide a bit. Okay, this is a new screen. So this is what we are going to create with the help of HTML, CSS. I've prepared already all of these slides, but we will not cover all of this. See, this is what we are going to create. Okay, this is our HTML, CSS. This is JavaScript. This is FastAPI. Then this FastAPI we are going to connect with our system camera. This is going to be our YOLO V8 backend, and this is a virtual camera which we can utilize in Google Meet, Zoom, and others. This is our actual flow of this whole project. I will not cover everything today. We have 2 more days, right? I think it's first time we are having this kind of project on YouTube. Thank you very much, Junaid. Yes. Yes, I have used JavaScript, a very simple JavaScript. See, don't worry about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let me talk about the actual scope, what I want all of you to get from this project. Okay. I want all of you to understand how flow of a data product, simple product, looks like. Okay, different layers. I'm talking about software architecture layers. Software architecture layers. APIs. Okay, how do we create API? Process data. Okay, and talk about responses. How do we handle responses? That is again part of API. What I don't want you to learn or worry about is what is YOLO V8. This is not the scope of this project. Yes, we are going to use segmentation, but that part is on me. I will talk about what is the input and output. This YOLO V8 alone, if you want to learn YOLO V8 and if you're not familiar with deep learning, covering the concepts till YOLO V8 will take 3 months. But we are not going to focus on that. We are just going to focus what is the input, what is the input which we are using, and what is the output. So I don't want you to focus on YOLO V8. Okay, I don't want you to focus on computer vision too much. Okay, I will talk about what we are doing, but how we are reading frames, the logic and other things, I don't want you to worry about it. The task is we should understand how to create an actual project. Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear? The agenda, this is the actual agenda of our project, not the segmentation, not the YOLO. Otherwise, it will be very overwhelming. It will take more than 1 month to understand all of this concept. Okay? Yes. So be excited. If you understand all of this, you don't have to implement YOLO. Maybe you can utilize machine learning techniques. If you know machine learning, if you know deep learning, if you know NLP, utilize this. This whole process will be same for a lot of projects. This is what we have to do. Okay. So this is the agenda. So if I talk about YOLO V8, don't ask me tomorrow, sir, what YOLO V8 is doing. That is not the part of this 3 days workshop. Guys, we only have 3 days. Okay. We cannot do more in 3 days. All right. So whenever I'm writing code of YOLO V8, Just try to see. I will talk about what is the input and what output we are getting. That's all. Okay, great. So what we are going to do today is we are going to create this HTML page, simple HTML with just heading. We are not going to do anything else. Okay, or we will just load an image and check how we can use it, utilize it with the help of API. Clear, everyone? Can we get started creating our first simple API, fast API, and other things? No, I will suggest not to do along with me, because this code will be available. I will be sharing this GitHub once we are over. Okay. Once we are over with this 3 days workshop, this 3 days community session. So not a suggestion. Guys, I'm audible now? Yes. Okay. Okay, wait. Yes. Right? Because of NVIDIA broadcast, it automatically closed this voice. Okay. So this is our VS code, and I am expecting that everyone knows Conda. How many of you don't know about Conda? Conda, how many of you don't know about Python itself? We lost you for a minute. Yes, then I can talk about it. Okay, let me check. Remove the comment from the screen. Okay, and let me. Is it better now? Okay, if you don't know Conda, I will just give a small introduction about it. Nothing more than that. You guys can do it in your free time. So this is anaconda.com/download. Whoever has Python typically uses Anaconda for your Python installation. Okay, this is Anaconda. This is your Python distribution. It means it will help you segregate your multiple projects and dependencies. Okay, if you don't understand what I'm saying, let me teach you. Okay, see this, guys, there is a difference. If you install a plain Python in your system, it can be Mac OS, it can be Linux, or it can be Windows. Just plain Python, if you install without Conda, okay, without Conda, you can create project one. Project one. Suppose your project one is using a library called ABC. Your project one is using a Python library called ABC. Version you are using is 1.10. And this Python version which you are using is 3.6. Are we clear here? Python version which is installed on our system is 3.6. In our project, we are going to use a library which has a version of 1.10. Clear, everyone? Yes, you can use it, but I will not suggest it. Okay. So now suppose you're working on another project, you have found some code on GitHub, and that GitHub code is written on Python version 3.9, and this ABC library which you were using before, now they are using ABC library of 2.10. Will this Python work for project 2? Can you run project 2 with your previous Python? This project requirement is Python 3.9 and library version 2.10. Can you use your previous Python in your new project? No, we cannot use it because the Python version is single. I only have one Python, and that gets solved with your Conda. Okay, Conda is your Python distribution. With Conda, you can separate multiple Python versions. Suppose for project 1, you are creating a new environment. This is the new environment which you will create with Conda. In this environment, you are going to have Python 3.6 and ABC library of 1.10. Now, with the help of Conda, you can utilize this. You can create this new environment with Python 3.9, and suppose ABC library is 1.14. This is project 2. So Conda will manage both of this environment. This is called as environment 1. This is called as environment 2. So whatever you are installing, whatever requirements you have in this project will not create issue for your previous project. That's why we use Conda. Clear, everyone? Yes, we use Conda for isolated environment. It's fine, Vishwajit. If you have Python installed, again you can install Conda. It will not cause any error. Conda will install its separate Python. Okay, Conda will install its separate Python. Anyone has any doubt on this Conda? Why we are using Conda? Yes, so people now has doubt like VENV. There is a library in Python called as VENV, which also does this. This is called as environment, as I mentioned, right? Environment. Fun. This is environment 2. You are creating this different environment with the help of Conda. In Python, you have a package called VENV, which also does the same thing. It maintains separate projects or separate environment. But why I'm talking about Conda is when we install any library with Python, suppose I'm installing pip install library XYZ. I'm installing with pip package manager. Conda is also a package manager. So there are a lot of useful things in Conda. In Conda, if I have to, currently we are going to use YOLO V8. To use YOLO V8, we need to use a library called Ultralytics. And Ultralytics require another library dependency called Pytorch. This Pytorch has two versions called CPU and GPU. For this GPU installation, you need to worry about a lot of things. Whether my dependencies are correct or not and other things. If you try to install the GPU version of Pytorch, sometimes you will get issue, sometimes you will not. But if you don't have GPU, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. But if you have GPU, your GPU is not accessible with your Pytorch, then if you try to install that with Conda, it is very, very easy. Okay, it is very, very easy. That's why I am using Conda. Clear, everyone? Are we clear why I am not using VENV and why I am using Conda? Because it is also a package manager. It handles the dependency by its own. Are we clear? Yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Okay, this is why we are using Conda. So first of all, this is my terminal. Okay, you can open your ZSH in macOS or you can open your terminal in Linux. Okay, it will be same. So what I'm going to do, once you install this Conda, you can check the installation on Krish's YouTube channel. Conda installation is there. Okay, Anaconda installation is there. We will not waste time because it takes time to install. Once you install Conda and press Conda, write Conda and enter, you will see that it will show you this successful. If the installation is successful, only then it will show you this information. If all this information is not visible, you will not be able to run Conda or use Conda. Clear? Clear, everyone? Next thing, with the help of Conda, step 1. Okay, we are in step 1 of implementation. With the help of Conda, we are going to create a separate environment. Okay, we are going to create a separate environment, and I'm going to name this environment, okay, so that I can use it later. Let's name this environment as broadcaster underscore live. Okay, and I want a Python version of 3.11. This is what I want. I want an environment where I can run code, but I want the Python version to be 3.11 for this environment named broadcaster live. Let's see how to create it. Let me clear everything. I have to write the code. I hope my screen is visible, or do I need to zoom in more? So the command is Conda. First keyword is Conda. Second is create. Conda create. Then -n, which means now mention after space, now mention the name of the environment. What is the name? Broadcaster underscore live. That is the name now. Conda create -n. What is the Python version we want? Guys, what is the Python version we want? What is the Python version we want? Mention fast. Tell me the Python version. I've mentioned it just now. Yes, correct. Python version we want is 3.11. That's all we have to do to create this environment, this box. Inside it, we will create our project. We will run our project. Okay. Just like we run some file with Python, python a.py. This runs our Python application. Okay. We will run the same application inside here. Okay. This is just for visualization. We will not go inside this box, but we will activate this box. I will talk about it. So let's create it. First, Conda create -n broadcaster live, then this Python version, then press enter. Okay. It will retrieve some information from web, okay, package data, and then you have to press Y. It will ask you, do you want to proceed, yes or no? If yes, then press enter. It will download some packages, verify some transaction, and then it will be over. Then your Conda package is ready. Now it will ask that, it will say information like to activate this environment. This environment is created but is not activated. Okay, we cannot use Python 3.11 yet. To use Python 3.11, we need to mention this command. Command is Conda. Let me press CLS. To activate this command, we need to mention Conda and then activate. What is the name of the environment which we want to activate? The name of the environment is broadcaster underscore live. See the change. Currently, there is nothing here. There is no name here as broadcaster. But when I press enter, can I see broadcaster now before this directory path? Guys, can I see broadcaster live here now? Let me see some comments. Can I see this broadcaster? Yes, right? I think there is a delay from your end to my end, but yes, we are in the Conda environment. Okay, this is activated. Now our box is activated. Step 1 is we have created this environment. Step 2 is we have activated this environment. Okay, we have activated this environment. Next thing is, once we activated is to verify, we can write Python and it will open Python. Is the Python version same as what we have mentioned? Yes, Python version is same as what we have mentioned, that is Python 3.11. It means everything is correct. Okay, everything is correct. So now let's start the implementation. Okay, let me expand it a bit. So in main.py, let's me remove this because we have this Conda now. CLS. This is our folder. The first file I'm going to create is main.py. Okay, in main.py, I'm going to write my API layer. Okay, I'm going to write my API layer. I'm not going to do anything here because we need to install few things. So for that, I'm going to write requirements.txt. There are few things which we require to install. One is called as uvcorn. Okay, uvcorn is going to be our server. Okay, it is going to act as a server. It is going to handle request and response. Then we have FastAPI. It is going to route to that particular application. Okay, I will talk about it. Then we need Py virtual cam. Then we need OpenCV Python. Then finally we need Ultralytics, which have that segmentation which we want. I was talking about OpenCV algorithm, right? We will get our OpenCV algorithm from Ultralytics. This is again a OpenCV library. This library will interact with our OBS virtual camera. These two are used for API layers. Okay, these two will be used for API layers. Are we clear, everyone? The libraries which we are using. Okay. Yes, correct. So to install these libraries, I have mentioned all of these libraries in requirement.txt, and I don't want to do installation of pip install uvcorn, pip install FastAPI, pip install virtualcam. I want to do all the installation in a single go. So I will write, currently I have to move inside this folder. I am already inside this folder broadcaster-live. Okay, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I will mention pip install -r requirements.txt. Okay, pip install -r requirements.txt and then install it. No, we don't have to use any specific version. All of these are compatible with the latest version of these libraries. Okay, so I'm not restricting to any particular version here. Okay, so let this install. Mr. Titan, no, I don't have. Okay, this will take a little time, but until then we can utilize this time to do something else. Go to the Pytorch, go on Google and type Pytorch. Click enter. Pytorch, this is the library used for deep learning. Okay, for NLP task, for deep learning task, for computer vision task, all the deep learning tasks we use Pytorch. It is one of the library used for deep learning. Another one is TensorFlow, and then we have others. We are going to utilize Pytorch. So click on this Pytorch and we are going to install GPU version. So if you don't have GPU, I hope everyone is able to see my screen. This tab, okay, this table, everyone is able to see this interactive table. Yes or no? Yes, I have mentioned Ultralytics. We have used Ultralytics because we want to use YOLO V8. Okay, it is an algorithm which will do that background blurring. So in this one, there is, if you have CPU system, click on CPU. If you have GPU, check which GPU which you have. Okay, if I click on my terminal,
I've opened my terminal and I can write a command to know if you have GPU, only this command will work. And VIDIA-SMI. If you press on enter, it will show you some statistics. I have a lot of processing being run on my GPU. So you can see the version of CUDA I have is 12.8. Here they have mentioned 11.8, 12.4 or 12.6. Okay, so if you have CUDA, that means if you have GPU, you will have this CUDA. It will only work with NVIDIA GPUs. If you have CPUs, just click on CPU, it will give you this command. We don't require Torch audio, we only require Torch and Torch vision. So copy this and install in your VS Code. Okay, copy this and install in your VS Code. And if you have GPU, click on CUDA 11.8, 12.4 or 12.6. As I mentioned, pip sometimes creates issue. So what we are going to do, we are going to click, see for Conda command, it is not available because it is the latest version of Pytorch. Conda is not available. What we are going to do, we are going to click on this button, that is previous version of Pytorch. We are going to click here and then we can scroll. So you can see for Linux and Windows, these are the commands available. This is for CPU, this is for CUDA 12.4, this is for CUDA 12.1, 11.8. If your system has very old CUDA, then you can scroll a bit or scroll a lot, and then you will see that CUDA versions are changing. 11.7, 11.8. If you scroll more, then it is 10.2, 11.3. So you don't have to match your CUDA. Okay, whatever is latest, whatever works on your system, I am currently going with 11.8. Okay, in my system, I am going with 11.8. If this works in your system, it's fine. Else, install the CPU version. Clear, everyone? So I'm going to copy this command. Once my installation is done, I'm going to install the same thing here. See, it is going to download this Torch, which I don't want because see, this Torch, it will download, it is a CPU version. So let me cancel this operation and I will paste the command which I just copied from here, Conda, and press enter. So you can see it is downloading all of these things, PyTorch CUDA, PyTorch, as well as all of these libraries which is not present in your pip package. These are libraries, CUDA libraries and other dependencies. So Conda will install all the dependencies required automatically. And you can see this is 1.39 GB. I already have a Conda environment ready, so we are not going to download it. But in your system, for the first time, you have to do it. Okay, 1.39 GB for GPU version. CPU, it will be around 200 MB. Let me close it. Okay, I think it will keep on downloading, which I don't want. So let me kill this terminal. Yes, I don't want this to download. So I already have this Conda environment ready. You have to do these steps. Is everyone clear on the steps? First of all, let me write in instruction.txt what things we have to do. Instructions.txt. First of all, we have to create a Conda environment. This is step 1. Create a Conda environment with Python 3.11. Step 2. Step 2 is you should activate whatever the name of your environment is, you should activate it. Step 3. Once it is activated, don't install pip install -r requirement.txt. First install the Pytorch CUDA. Okay? Install the Pytorch CUDA version if you have GPU. If you have CPU, then this step is optional. Let me mention, this is step only for GPU user. Only for GPU user. Don't tell me how we got this code. Okay, we got this command from our Pytorch package. Okay, we got this command from there. So this is only for GPU user. Now we have step 4 is, so people who does not have GPU will go for step 1, 2 and 4. In step 4, we just have to mention pip install -r requirements.txt. Are we clear, everyone? Hey Biswajit, yes, we have covered a lot of things, but we are still starting. We have not started any coding, but we have covered problem statement as well as the solution. What solution we are going to do, but nothing on implementation point of view. Okay, everyone, are you clear on the steps which we have to do? First, we will create the environment, go inside the environment, install Pytorch GPU. If you don't have GPU, just skip to this step, that is step number 4. I have written all the requirement.txt here. Okay. Anyone left on this operation? Anyone has doubt on this operations, what we're trying to do? Or if you are confused, anyone is confused? Okay, because I know coding is always takes little more energy as compared to your theories, but at the end, everyone has to do coding. Is it normal video broadcaster or others? We are creating our custom broadcaster. Okay, we are creating our custom broadcaster. Step 5. Okay, so first of all, let me go into this one, then I will mention other steps. Conda activate broadcaster. It is activated. Let me zoom in. So once we are in the environment, next step is we have to check whether our CUDA is working or not. If you are a GPU user, you have to test whether your CUDA is working or not. This is how you test CUDA. You mention Python so that your Python interpreter will run here. Okay. Your Python interpreter will run here. A small query, what time we will wrap the session every day? This will help us plan. Yes, we will wrap up this in half an hour. Okay, next other things we will do tomorrow. We will wrap this at 10:30 IST. Fine. 2 hours every day. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. So once we initialize our interpreter, once we start the interpreter, we have to mention import torch. So step 5, I will write open Python interpreter. Step 6, this is again for all the GPU users. Once you have imported torch, what you can do, torch.cuda.is available. This is the method from torch. If it gives you true, it means it is able to access your GPU. If it gives you false, it means it is not able to access your GPU. Is it giving me true or false? Is it giving me true or false? Step 7 is print this command. True. It means GPU is accessible. I can access GPU. I can utilize the full strength of my GPU. Okay. So our installation is all completed. These are all the steps which we need to confirm the installation of Pytorch GPU. And if it is CPU, this will give you false. So there is no issue there. Okay, there is no issue there. Next is we are going to import few things in main.py. That will be our end of today's session, because we just want to check whether from our API backend we are able to access or we are able to run our HTML or not. Okay, so in main.py we are going to start importing some libraries. UVCon is responsible for handling our request and response. So this is the library which handles that. Okay, then we are going to use import FastAPI from FastAPI, not import FastAPI. We are going to mention from FastAPI import. Let me mention FastAPI, comma query. Okay. Later I will talk about where do we use all of this. Then There are few things like JSON response and file response. First, I will mention from FastAPI dot responses. I'm going to import JSON. Okay. Any JavaScript library or any server communicates with the help of JSON. Okay. Request and response is always in JSON format. Keep this in mind. This is very important. Then we have from FastAPI dot static files. Currently, we don't need static files. I will try to import it later. And yes, that's all we have to do. So once this is done, we will create an instance of the FastAPI. Okay, this is the instance of FastAPI, and we will call it app. Our FastAPI is going to handle endpoints. Okay, I will talk about what is endpoints. So FastAPI is going to communicate with UVCon. So first of all, we will use FastAPI to create endpoints. And the first endpoint I'm going to create is, first I will mention app.mount, where all the folders are. So all the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript folder we will keep in a folder called static. So that I am mounting it, MOUNT. Okay, mount the folder name. Folder name we are going to create is static. This is standard which we follow. So we have to create a folder called static. Okay, you have to create a folder called static. This is where all the HTML, CSS will reside. Then I will mention static files. Okay, static 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 files. What are the static files? I'm going to use directory, so I have to import static files as well. From FastAPI, as I mentioned, don't worry about the code, see the flow. Okay, all you have to do is see the flow. Directory is static, it is not dynamic. It is going to be here in this place. We are not going to change this directory placement, and the name is static. You don't have to change all of this information. Okay, name is static. So let's create the first route. This is called as route. @app, this is the decorator for this FastAPI instance. So we are mentioning @app.get slash. I will mention why this is slash. And first, let me define all the function, then I will explain what we are trying to do here. Okay, serve UI, and then it is going to return file response. So here I will mention yes. And let me load the final component, that is if __ name. When I run this main.py, this is how it is going to call the function. If __ name equals to __ main. Guys, this is Python standard. Everyone should know all of this. If you don't know, you have to refresh it. UVCon is going to run this application. UVCon is going to create the application, is going to run this application. Where we have defined application, this is our FastAPI application, and it is going to run our application on URL. This is a default URL 0.0.0.0. Sometimes in systems this one will not work, but we have different names for it. Okay, I will mention how. And the port which we are running is 8000. Okay, and let's create a simple HTML. Don't worry, I will explain all the HTML. Index.html. So let's talk about HTML. We will go back and understand what all of these components are. Let's understand HTML. So in HTML, the first command we have to mention is doctype HTML. Okay, this is the first command we have to mention. Doctype HTML. So this tells your browser that you're using HTML5. HTML has different version. HTML has evolved a lot. HTML 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Currently, we are at HTML5. So when we mention HTML, doc.html, it tells our Google Chrome, your Brave browser, or your Safari that you are using HTML5. Okay. So this is to help your browser fix some components or to get some attributes for HTML5. Okay. If you don't mention it, it is also fine. But this is to help your browser. Then in HTML, this is called as root. In HTML, whatever tag we use, these are all tags. In HTML, all of these components are tagged. This is the root tag. In HTML, if we start a tag, we need to close it. That is how norm work. If we start a tag, we have to close the tag. That is how the norm works. Okay, this is how HTML works. Then in HTML, we have few components like head. Okay, now I will explain head. Then we have another component called body. Now let me explain this part. So whatever you are able to see on this page, this is a web page. This is a Pytorch web page. This is a Google web page. This is a Conda web page. Whatever you are able to see on the web page, it is all created with HTML. And what the visible part of your browser, okay, the visible part of your website, we mention under body. Okay, whatever is visible is mentioned under body. Whatever is not visible, like the CSS, JavaScript, the title, everything is mentioned inside head. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Whatever is mentioned inside the body is the visible part of your web page. Whatever is not visible, these are the attributes of your web page. Okay, now let's mention, I will show you this example. Title. We are not teaching HTML, but just understanding the flow here. Title is, suppose currently we are mentioning dummy. In body, this is a paragraph. I'm writing a paragraph. Hello, YouTube community. We are creating broadcast application. Okay, let me mention H1. H1 is the biggest heading. H6 is the smallest heading. So I'm writing with the biggest tag here. Once we have it, let's try to run it. Okay, I will show you. Then we will understand the components, what we're trying to do. I'm running main.py. See, I'm running main.py. It is saying this error can only be used. It is normally permitted. Okay, I think it is already running in some other place. Let me stop it. That's the main issue. Okay, now if I try to run it, it will run. It was running in my other terminal. Is it running now? It is saying that the server is started, waiting for application startup. Application startup is completed. Your application is running on this URL. If you copy this URL, go to your Chrome and paste it, it might work, it might not. Okay, based on system. But if you write instead of this 0000, if you write localhost, localhost, and press tab, are we able to see this? This part we are running with Python, and Python is loading this HTML page. Are we able to see the same thing or not? Guys, this website is running on a server which is present in our system. This is what we are able to create, and this is the by default. Okay, now let me mention what FastAPI is doing. This is your UVCon. UVCon is running a server. Okay, it will handle request and response. Yes, we can use it, but why to use it if we can run with main.py? That will be another line of code, right? So UVCon is handling your request and response. Okay, you have inside folder static, you have index.html, and here you have Python app which has FastAPI, okay, which will utilize UVCon server to send and receive request. Okay, to send and receive request. We have mentioned one code here, @app. You can see this, @app.get. When we mention this slash, it means open index.html. This is a default page. Okay, slash means it will by default open index.html. This is the by default route. This is called as route. Slash is our first route. Clear, everyone? So when we start our application, the first time application will run on this slash. We will load our HTML page here. This is what we are doing. When we mention app.get, what we are doing, as I mentioned, for server, we need to send JSON request, and server will process this information and send a response again as a JSON. So the input type was JSON, output is JSON. Is our HTML JSON? Is our index.html of type JSON? Can someone tell me? Is our index.html is of type JSON? Yes or no? So from server, we are not processing JSON. We are processing a file. That's why when we call this slash, whenever this uvcon.run will start the application, it will first start index.html. From our Python side, we are sending that send this index.html as the response. So index.html is of type file. So we are sending file response. So whenever this application run, the first route will run automatically. That is hyphens. This is slash, forward slash. Okay. This is the first route which will run automatically. And we have created our first route. And we are returning static index.html. Clear, everyone? Yes, these are called as route. This is a route name. This is our first route which we have created. Okay. Yes, you can give function name anything. Currently, we have mentioned serve UI. So whatever name is present inside it, it will run automatically when we are talking about slash. Okay, forward slash, only this route. Function name can be anything. It can be ABC also. Let me close it and let's try to show again. Let's mention ABC. Run again. It is running. Let's try to reload it. It's working. Yes, we are using a decorator here. Can you see this dummy on top of this tab? This tab, dummy. Dummy is not a visible part of the web page, but it is called title. So whatever you're able to see on all of these websites, these are title which we mentioned in the heading section. Can you see? In the heading, we have mentioned title. Title name was dummy. So we have created a title of the web page and also this web page. All right. And this covers all the components of today. So tomorrow the class is going to be a little bit fast because now we understand problem statement. We have all the installation required. We understand that UVCon is a server. FastAPI is going to request and response from UVCon. Okay. And we have created our first HTML basic page, which we are running from our Python FastAPI. So we have covered already a lot of components required for this project. Yes, class will be day after tomorrow. So guys, how did you like today's session? Did you enjoy? Did you learn a lot of things or new things? Yes, let me stop sharing.
Okay. So I was also implementing along with everyone in the backend and understanding the problem statement. Amazing work, Monal. And thank you for taking this amazing session, guys. So if you like this session, guys, please do hit like. And again, you can follow Monal in the LinkedIn. Any related queries to computer vision and all, he's super smart in this. So I've brought him over here to explain all this kind of use cases. Like whenever he talks about use case, right, whenever we have a discussion, he always comes up with a new problem statement. Sir, we should tease this, we should tease that, you know. That is the most amazing part. And I hope everybody is liking this session, because this is something that you are just believing, oh, it will get completed in 3 days. We'll still plan many more things. As Monal said, we will probably be not having the session tomorrow, but instead we'll have it on Wednesday. The reason of having this session on Wednesday is that what we are planning to do is that the session, when it is happening on Wednesday, one day you will be getting a gap. In that particular gap, try to get through the video again, try to understand whatever setup is done till now. I think basic setup is done. We'll not share the code right now, but in the next class the complete code will be shared. So we
Yes.
want you all to do the setup, at least basic setup, the HTML setup, I think understand the problem statements and all these things. Okay. And we will continue the session on Wednesday. And many people have asked for the prerequisite is that you need to be good at Python, data science, machine learning, at least computer vision, deep learning. And if you are probably interested, please do check out the courses that is given in the description of this particular video. Like prerequisite course that is required, we have given in the description of this particular video. Other than things, I think Monal, good job. Everybody is liking the session. Please do hit like for Monal. And yeah,
Yes.
we will continue the session on day after tomorrow, that is on Wednesday. But if you have any questions, please do let us know. Okay. Let's take some 10 minutes question, and
Yes.
then we will continue the discussion.
Yes.
Krishna, thank you for this amazing session. It's not me, it's Monal. Okay, Monal is probably taking this question, so you can talk about Monal over here. Complete
Thank
credit
you very
goes
much,
to
sir.
him.
No, sir, you are the one who is responsible for putting all of this effort for everyone, right? There are a lot of
Yeah.
like amazing mentors, but you are the one who is putting us all in front and then talking about all this project, giving us opportunity. So thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Thank you, Monal. Thank you. Um, so here you can see hi
Hey,
Monal and
Bala.
Krish. Bala is
Yes.
here. So
Yes.
is a student in computer vision class, I
Yes.
guess.
Yes. 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 We have a lot of people
Great.
from computer vision class. Yeah. Yes. This is
Nice,
another
nice.
project for them. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. That's amazing. So people like this kind of projects we usually take in the class also. We make it in a collaborative way. And if you don't know, like Monal is making everybody work in a collaborative way. That is the most
Yes.
amazing thing. Okay.
Yes, guys, we are
Um,
creating software. You can say a product for people who are visually impaired. So everyone in our team is creating projects. Some are working on data, some are working on backend. So we are handling it in Krish AI Technologies. It is amazing, and it will be open source soon. So you can use the data set under Krish AI Technologies. Yes.
okay. Sir, I wanted to join data science and Gen AI bootcamp. Sir, will I be able to get a job as data? See, no one will come and give jobs in your hand. Yes, we will try our level best to teach in a way that matters in the industry. Everything else, you will be able to do it. Okay.
Yes.
Our project is on computer vision and it's interesting. Yes. Can you share your LinkedIn profile, Monal, sir?
Yes. Yes,
You
sir.
can just search for. Wait, I will ping them. Okay,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
so that they should be able to see it. Otherwise,
Uh, Anand is asking that how to improve my coding skills. Anand, you should not just improve your Python skills, but overall skills on databases, on Python, machine learning, and everything. Then only you will rely less on GPT and understand the core concept. If you're not from computer science, and we are getting a really courses for data science courses there, okay, it is going to be starting soon. You can enroll there. It is a course for people who don't have that prior experience for that. Yes. Okay.
Some people are coming and saying marketing, so can't help.
Yeah, we
So
can
here
add it.
is the Monal link. Okay, Monal, this link. And guys,
Yes.
I'm also traveling to US for NVIDIA GTC event. So what NVIDIA did was that they were kind enough to provide some amazing things for every one of you. You can attend all the session virtually. So let me know if you want to probably register it. I will be happy to give you the free virtual registration so that everybody should be able to attend that session at least virtually, wherein in whichever countries you are specifically, please go ahead and see that. Okay. Anyhow, I will be giving you the virtual link, and you should be able to see even in the comment section, and I will be putting it over here. Okay, so just go ahead and register it. The reason is it is amazing. So here is the link, everybody. You can go ahead and attend the GTC event from here. Okay, so GTC event specifically for virtual, it's completely for free. Thank you, NVIDIA, again for providing the specific link so that many people can probably attend for whom they cannot probably travel. Okay, it starts from March 17 to it starts from 17 to 16 to 20, I think 17 to 20th. I'm also going over there. I've been invited, and yeah, that's it. Try it out, and yes, we are going to have this particular session. Will you be speaking in the event? Probably in one of the session, I think so. That is the plan, but I don't know what will happen over there based on the planning itself. Okay, but yes, please do go ahead, register it, attend it virtually, because there are a lot of events. Agentic AI events are going to happen. Computer vision, NVIDIA inferencing events are basically happening, and all. Will you make it live at NVIDIA event? Yes, I will also try to make it live, where I'll be able to show you beautiful things over there. Okay, so yeah, just go ahead, try to have a look, register it, and yeah, that's it. I think we have spoken all the things. Monal, anything
Yes.
that you want to talk about? Or we are good to
That's
close
all
the
for
session?
today's class. Yes, that's all for today. From the next one, we are going to implement more on the coding part now that we understand problem statement. Yes.
Sure. Perfect, guys. This was it from our side. Thank you for attending the session. We will see you on Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, the event is free virtually. Not, you cannot go over there and attend it because it will be
Yeah.
costly for you. So at least virtually, we have got the free link. You can attend it. Okay. So just go ahead and attend it, and try to utilize this opportunity. So thank you, everyone. This was it from our side. I think Monal is also tired after coming from the office. He's probably taking this session. So let's give
Yes.
him a break at least for one day, and we'll see you all on Monday. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Bye bye. Take care. I
Thank you
will
very
end the
much.
session. Thank you, Monal. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Bye.